I have the Sylvester's father on the phone right now because one of the focuses of our conversation, as I said, lots of interviews have already gone. Many people have spoken to the parents, to the family, and all that. But our focus is, should the school reopen? And I think that's what I would like to hear Sylvester's father's thoughts on it. Good morning, sir. Are you there? So that he's on the phone with us.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah.
Good morning,
yeah,
sir.
Good morning.
Good to have you on the show. And
Yeah,
once again, we'd like to express our
no,
sincere condolences to
thank
you
you very much.
on the death of your son. So as I said, we've discussed this issue of Dowen College. I've been discussing the last couple of weeks. But the angle we would like to talk about today is if the school should reopen in the interest of the other 400+ children. What are your thoughts on these arguments, and what would you like to see happen?
Thank you very much. I can't hear.
Go ahead.
It's not connected. Yeah, thank you very much. I cannot specifically say the school should be reopened now. Today it happens to me. My boy is in the mortuary. Right now, we don't want this kind of a thing to happen to any parents. It's the worst thing that can happen to anybody. It's the worst thing. If they don't put their things in place, they don't get to the end of this matter, I would suggest that the school should not be open. The man speaking there, my daughter, made a complaint to him about Benjamin Favor. This Adeyemi, if I'm not mistaken, my daughter, Amanda, complained to you when Benjamin Favor and two other boys bullied him in his sister's private part. The boy said, no, he cannot, that he should describe it. The boy said, no. When the matter came up, my daughter walked onto him that is speaking there. My daughter is right here with me. She's seen him. She complained to him. He now asked her to come to his office the next day. The school has a principal. They have their own principal. They must pass through the house master. She now complained to Celine. Celine now said, and Valentine. They now asked her to write a statement and give to Celine, to give to Valentine, to give to him. My daughter complained to him directly. Him and Dayami. She's right sitting here with me. She's right sitting here with me. If he said there's no bullying in the school, this girl complained to him. She even cried out that she wants to call her parents, that she's scared. She's sitting right here. Show your face. Right. Let them see you. She's sitting right here with me. She knows him. She complained to himself, him and Dayami. He now asked her to come the next day. They have their own procedure. They say you must pass through the house master. She now wrote the statement and give to Celine and Valentine. But if it was given to him, nobody knows. But she complained to him directly. Right. Wow, she's the person sitting here with me. Right. Right. All right, let me get a few more questions. Let me get a few more questions in for you, sir. Go ahead, Mary.
So once again, my most sincere and deepest sympathy. We've been talking to the school representative, and he's painted for us a picture of the last time late Sylvester was in school. He said that he had an injury on his leg, and when he was picked up from the school, he carried his things. So he seemed to have been in, some, he seemed to be in a somewhat healthy condition than what we finally saw on social media. Could you tell us the state in which you received your son, sir?
Let me tell you, when the person we sent got to the sick bay, he called us that the boy cannot move. The nurses are there. He couldn't move. I asked him to carry. He carried him to the car. And they went to where they do X-ray, what is told us that. And the X-ray showed that use hot balm to rub the leg. That was how they went to my Lagos house. That's Tuesday. Then the boy couldn't sleep throughout the night. They now called us. My senior son, who is in London now went to Lagos. He was a worry. Flew to Lagos the following day. That was on Wednesday. When he got away, he was to travel to London the weekend. He said the case is beyond just leg injury. That time the mouth started peeling. You know when somebody, this thing, the top side, when there was no flight, the flight delayed. So I got to Lagos very late in the evening. So when I entered Lagos, I went to the house. I slept with my son. The boy couldn't sleep throughout the night. He cried and I carried him throughout the night to go to the toilet and throughout the night. There was no flight. We contacted all the, even to Benin, no flight, no seat. So we had to come through roads to Warri. The day we came to Warri was on Friday, I think on the 26th. Benin bypass, there was an accident. So youths blocked the bypass. We delayed them, we got to Warri very late.
Right.
That was when I got my family to the world. Since the man was, and the body was very,
Sir.
so my daughter, before they changed, to another room.
Right. So we've heard this version of yours quite a few times. But you see, the critical conversation here. Are you still there, sir?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I heard him saying something. Listen, madam.
Yeah.
I heard him saying something. The parents said the school does not have court. When did we tell this young man and Dowen College that the school does not have court? When my son made a confession to us, he mentioned 3 days. Where Benjamin Favor, Asleptemle, Michael Kasamu, and 2 others. How did they get to know the other remaining 2? If there was no confessional statement. What is they talking about?
All right. Let me pause you for a second. I'll come back to our guests because obviously, as I said, I didn't want to go too much in the case because I know there's still, the investigation is still ongoing and there's still going to be different depositions very soon. But I would like to hear your thoughts on what has been said because I know you're obviously pained by what happened. Nobody's happy. Yeah. You know, it's painful. Yeah. But the fact that based on his daughter's acknowledgement that there is bullying. So our question, let me rephrase again, YK's question and Tokwe's question. Have there been categorically cases of bullying and what has Dowen done to stop or reduce bullying within its school?
Like I said, there's no how a case of bully will be reported to the school and nothing will be done about it. Ask the sisters. Has there been anybody that has been expelled before? Have there been people that have been suspended before? Are there people that have been in working suspension before? Ask if that's a no. Then secondly, when you talk about the child being so uncomfortable, after that being administered to him, he couldn't move. He couldn't, you as a mother, will you travel with that child? That's the question. If we saw that, we will rush that boy to our hospital. 3 minutes from Dowen College, he will be treated. But if that was what happened, and that boy was taken, even though he was taken to Warri, can you ask what medication was given to him and where? Because that was our concern, really. You see, we're not here to debate what happened. The loss of Sylvester is their child, is their son, but it was our student. You understand? Nobody would open their eyes or his eyes and feel, oh, this boy should die or this student should be killed or whatever. No. No, it's painful to us. If he was given what he's supposed to get, especially when he was crying, especially he was at pain, a mother or anybody who is concerned would take a serious measure not to move to another place.
I have to step you down because, I mean, I'm told that I have to step, but I need you to ask this question. I have one more question. I have a final question for you before I let you step down. Why are you not reopening?
Why we're not reopening?
Yes.
If we want to open, we'll open yesterday. But we didn't close ourselves. So we want to open if they allow us to open. And Nigerians should understand that, like many other mothers say, there are other children involved in this. There are many other children involved in this. There are some of us that even if we leave, we can get employment somewhere. It may not bother us. It may not really. But then, what about these other children? Most of those workers, some of them will be jobless. They're currently jobless. Some of them are already traumatized. So we appeal to everybody to please understand that it's not our making. It's an unfortunate thing that happened. But then, please, let us, if there's anything they want to do or they want us to agree, please, the Oromoni family, let's come together.
Have you paid
For the
any
life
condolence
of,
visit?
we tried that twice. The
I think
first time,
sometimes a school just wants, a parent like this just wants you to admit and accept.
So that's
that,
how we
that we messed up. You know, just accept
what?
Yeah.
Accept that
This
our administrative measures was not did not protect your child.
Yes.
Once you admit that to a father, he understands that, okay,
This is where you're coming
yeah. So maybe he's feeling like there's this elusiveness on the part of the
That is our
school.
fault.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that maybe do you feel that way?
Yeah.
That we didn't accept that it's the 5 children that were involved in this
No,
that
no,
led to the death or something?
No,
No.
what I'm trying to say, from where I'm sitting now, listening to you, sir, I would prefer maybe a different approach to the way you're speaking about this, which is to first of all acknowledge to the father, we dropped the ball on this case. We did something, your child died in our hands, under our care, and we're sorry about that. Let me tell you what a lot of people tend to say when we hear from the school. Almost immediately we hear how the mother had taken him on the road trip, how, you know, it's almost, you do not die in our custody, like you're putting the blame on someone else. I think the school should reflect, should just accept what they have done and say to the parents that we'll work with you and the government in making sure that whatever comes out, you know, that we'll get to the bottom of this.
I have to wrap up.
And I'm sorry.
I really have to wrap up. But now let me give you a chance to respond to that. One minute.
I understand what you said, and we actually wanted to let people know that what people heard was not what happened. Okay. Because, like I said, people thought he died in Dowen. People thought he was killed. He was punctured to death in Dowen. The autopsy showed that it's not that.
Right,
but then we publicly here say, we apologize to the Oromoni family for whatever misunderstanding that had been between us and Nigerians entirely, and mothers, parents, and so on. So we are not perfect. We all know that we're growing. So they should give us a chance to please correct whatever errors, whatever mistake. We're already doing that. We're already having things in place to do.
All right, let me go on the break. I have to run. Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your thoughts. We'll continue to monitor this story. As I said, nobody's leaving this story. We're not going to sweep it under the carpet. Everybody's watching it. I want to go on a quick break. When we come back, I'd like to get a pathologist, one pathologist who's going to share with us exactly what the results are, because that's another issue that is on ground, the scientific angle to this. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.